I heard her on Terry Gross Fresh Air, and I was always a fan, but I had never really heard her speak about her own life and her own career, and I was so impressed by just her smarts and her down-to-earthness. And then bought her book because she was promoting her book at the time and was very taken by her own telling of her own story. And I had the book on my desk, and my computer guy came over one day to do a house call and saw the book and said, Linda Ronstadt's a client of mine. So he made the introduction. Jeffrey and I reached out to her and took her to lunch, and she was very, not reticent, but she was just like, oh, nobody's going to really want to see this. Nobody wants to see a movie on Linda Ronstadt. Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to finance it.
Oh my God.
No, 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 no. But meanwhile, her assistant, her longtime assistant, Janet Stark, was like shaking her head, yes, 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 yes. So we continued to talk with Linda, and eventually she agreed to do it.
She had a real talent for finding talented people to work with. I mean, also for choosing material. She didn't write her own music, so a lot of her success was based on her finding music that she could bring to life in a way that was very personal to her. And really own those songs. In the same way, she found talented people to work with. She put her bands together, and her voice and her public persona sort of blossomed out of the relationships that she was able to create.
She never had, as she tells it, never had any kind of career strategy. She was really just going with her gut response to her music and what her muse was and where that would take her. So she was always open to moving in new directions musically.
She was never, she would do something and then she would want to move on and find something else to do. And it was completely counterintuitive to what you might think of as a career trajectory. But she had to stay inspired and stimulated as an artist.
Linda's has Parkinson's, so she's somewhat limited in terms of what she can do out in the world. But in terms of her engagement with the world and her engagement with life, that's as strong as it's ever been. That's just who she is. And I think that's what's really helped her to deal with her current situation with such grace, because she just accepts it. Accepts that circumstance as a fact of her life now, but it certainly doesn't stop her in terms of her interests and passions.